Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Ascension messages. My name is Bobbie. I'm known as Bobbie the Messenger on YouTube and Facebook. So today is Thursday. We're going to be doing some channeling. Now, first up, I just want to let you know I'm going to make some pretty drastic changes to my website. So some things are going to disappear and some things are going to be reborn or born. So new things are coming. So yeah, just to let you know, heads up, things are going to start to change. So I've figured out a few things and I've been given all these messages to do this. So I'm going to do this. I'm not going to let you know exactly what I'm doing yet because it's still fluctuating. But in any case, things are going to change. And that's to match my own energy and to bring an alignment of what I'm supposed to do with my mission here on Earth. So heads up though, that's pretty much that, I think. Yes, let's get into this channel message and see what's going to come through the CYANIANS and the Pleiadians or the Acrturians, and we'll go from there. Yeah, so there's this whole, oh wow, okay. It's interesting to note that there's many of us that are starting to step forward into this whole new reality. And within taking our power back, we're actually starting to move up and see the reflection coming back at us with many speaking out the truth. Things are going to fall. And it's going to happen. It's interesting because they're showing me there's all these different parallels of possibilities. And it's really, really within you of what possibility is going to come back as your reflection. And it's amazing how everyone will align in your reflection when you raise your vibration into that understanding that everything is reflecting you and taking your power back. It's not that those other possibilities aren't happening where things aren't, are going squiff and all of that on this planet, but you are breaking into something new here, and that's aligning you with a much better outcome. When this happens, it's interesting because they keep going back and forth. It'll go back and forth a little bit, where but not as much anymore, where you lose your train of thought, get caught into the story, find yourself again, quickly pick yourself out of it. It really is to do with you shifting and aligning yourself with what you really desire. And then these reflections in the bigger world, it's like the more that you do this, the more that the outside world or the collective starts to show up as coming with you. When you were aligning yourself with the benefit of yourself being empowered and all of that, stepping into neutral ground so that you could keep on creating the path that you desired, and you were living more in the moment, the present moment, and you weren't more in your head or your mind. When you keep flipping back to that, you might have seen little changes like, your immediate family would have shifted with you for a little bit, or little signs that are coming. Now that we are coming into aligning even more and more with that empowerment, moving into the moment, living in the moment, being more satisfied and grateful for our life, it's like the rest of the world is coming with. It's like we start to see the reflection of people speaking up in a big way and seeing the fall of certain dynamics that weren't working for humanity's consciousness to raise into this better level. It's really interesting how they're showing this to me. Sometimes I wish that you guys could go in my head so that you could get a better understanding. I'm trying to bring this up for you. But I know within myself this is happening in a big way. And so all those that are with me now that are in my reality are coming up with me as well. That's because I'm the central point of my own existence. And so be it for you as well. So you are literally shifting not only yourself, but the world that's reflecting back at you, because it's the only path that can be created when you are sitting in your own empowerment. It's the only path. The mind is graspy, and but the possibilities are many. Like the possibilities are endless of what we can of where we can go. But the mind wants to grasp and hold on to certain stories so that it can create this linear path. And so be it, it should. That's what its job is for. That's what it's meant to be doing. But because humanity is going through this massive shift where everything's breaking up, the mind has to let go enough for us to sit in the present moment to be able to hone into really what we as our own individual selves want in this reality. And more than likely, most people want peace. And it's only when you get into the mind that you are trying to find peace in all the wrong ways. So then you're aligning yourself with the wrong ways because your mind is like fixated in on, this is the only thing that'll give me peace. For me to stand up for myself and scream out to the world that nothing's going my way, that I'm going to be the victim of this reality. So it holds on to that story of everyone is better than me and I'm little and all of that. It holds on to that story and it keeps on bringing the confirmation in on itself to be able to confirm that the mind is right. But it's not that anything's right or wrong. It's because all possibilities are available. It's whether you are aligning yourself with what you really desire or wish from the present moment or not. And each person is mini godlike, is the unit holds the universe within them, because the universe is just a mere reflection of their own will to begin with. And that in itself empowers humanity and makes us realize we don't have to keep playing the victimized game anymore or the persecutor game anymore. We don't have to be that dynamic that's living through fear. That's why they say love is the most important thing. And we're not talking about love like with a partner or anything. We're talking about loving who we are in this world that we live in and moving through it with just a peace within ourselves. Because when they took me into the future earth, and the first thing I noticed when I was there was, you would think it would be something outside myself. You know, the first thing that I noticed would be, oh wow, I'm living in a house that's high up in the mountains. Wow, where am I? That sort of thing. No, the first thing I noticed was, whoa, I feel totally at peace. And why? Because my monkey mind had stopped and I was really present, like so present and in the moment that every possibility was before me. So being that present, it actually ignites all the possibilities you desire. And it comes from love, because you're no longer living, spinning in the wheel of the mind through fear. And because we are powerful creators, we will keep on producing that fear if we keep hooking into it and feeling ourselves as lesser than other people or other things outside of us, when really we're the ones that are creating it. So how can we fear what we've already created? So moving into this next realm where we're actually going to go, where we're going, or we are, we're we're present in it at all times. They're bringing me to my daughter when she was only 3 years old. And she said to me, Mummy, I know where we go when we die. It's a place called Anion. It's where everything is everything. It's where ponies are rainbows and rainbows are ponies. But we live in our mind now, Mummy. But we also live in this place called Anion as well. She called it Anion because Anion was a particle that resided in 2 dimensions. She said, you can look it up, but you have to thank me for this one. And it was like an elder speaking through us. She's definitely going to be a channeler. In any case, she's like, I don't want to do that at the moment. It's too much responsibility. You know, teenagers. Learning the ropes of how to live in this reality at the moment. But in any case, through that wisdom that she gave to me, the anion was in 2 dimensions. It was either in fermon or boson, which is light or material. So here we are with that physical and light again. And she said that we live in anion where anything is possible. This is the multitude of possibilities. That's why they're asking us to get out of our mind so that we can carve this new path of absolute anything is possible. Yes, absolutely. The fall of those that are not here for the benefit of you and your mind and how you're learning to use your mind again to carve this new path has to fall. In other words, don't give it any attention. What happens to a neuron path when you don't give it attention? They know this scientifically. It starts to fade. It starts to die. It starts to disappear. Don't give them any attention. And even I myself am at fault for this. Sometimes I get hooked in. I did this yesterday again, and I'm like, oh no, I've got to change this up. But not for as long as what I was in the past. Now I have many more days that I'm living present, and I'm happier and feeling more satisfied. And just the one day that I go a little squiff, or the 1 hour that I go a little squiff, I'm catching myself faster and faster as I go along. And that's us shifting into these higher frequencies. It's like they're showing me like this loop going up. So we do have to sometimes come back just to realize where we're actually going and why it's so important for us to find the stable ground within us to carve this new path of, I know where I'm going. This is my will. This is what I desire in my life. And I'm going to keep on moving towards that direction. And why not make yourself the leading actress? Be the leading actress in this reality. Be the leading actor, actress, wizard, witch, whatever you want to be, unicorn. It doesn't really matter so long as you're feeling at peace within yourself and coming from the love of who you are. That in itself is so powerful, because previous lives where you were living in that place, and even those who have been, caught in the whirlwind of humanity's negative consciousness before, they were in higher frequencies as well, because in the end we are all one, and we have all existed in all facets of our imagination. So when we know what we want, when we know where we want to go, when we feel into the power of who we can be, and you cannot feel the existence of someone so powerful unless that is within you. This is where they want you to go. This is all about, like last week's talk, Dream Big, or I think it was Tuesday's talk, was all about dreaming big. Yeah. There's just, if you can imagine your imagination coming to life of all those beautiful things that have been held there and belittled because you were told you couldn't fit into a society. But the society is all breaking up now. So why not take a leap of faith into this whole new powerful game of yourself? Why not do that? Become the leading role of your own reality. There is no competition there. It is just you being present and being satisfied with who you are. I'm sure as you've gone along in your life, you've met with people and you've gone, oh, I'd love to be like them. Oh, I'd love to be like that person who just walked in and just looked like they held themselves so well, and they were so, and people just went, wow, look at them. That is you. You cannot feel that off another person unless it exists within you. So take it back. If you stepped onto a planet that had many benevolent beings on there, and if your imagination could imagine, well, they would all live in harmony, unified, and they would have these incredible experiences of adventures and diversity and exploration. And I mean, it goes way beyond Star Trek, right? Star Trek, when I watch it, although I watch it a lot because it takes me off this planet, is one of the closest things that, at least it's not too violent, and takes me off this planet. But even within those stories, they keep on looping back into, they try to unfold in humanity's fear and anger and all of that. And it's not like we won't get angry when we're in these higher places, but we will catch ourselves quicker. We won't need for others to catch us unless we're really lost, and then you will end up falling away from that society and being caught into the matrix of that fear. That's like, we think from this point of view, coming from myself, that it's so hard to even imagine that we could live in a reality of peace. But when you take responsibility to lead yourself in the right path, you've got the reins of your own life, then it's only up to you and how what you choose to feed. What neuron path do you choose to feed? What story do you choose to feed? So if you've already got a hang of, well, I'm not going to choose to feed the worst story, you can flip yourself out of those stories quicker. So and it's also, they're showing me that the quicker that you can flip yourself out of those is the less fear you have, because then you can go into the darkest of places but still hold your integrity of who you are and flip yourself out whenever you want to. Obviously, you don't want to go into those places for very long, because why would you? That's like you've been given an option of two paths, and one is full of love and bliss and everything that you desire, and one is full of everything that you don't. Do you want to go down that path? And they're showing me that everybody has this multitude of facets within them that could be in the negative, in that path that they don't feel good, and the path that they do feel good. So when you are in line with yourself, feeling good, going down that path, you're aligning with others that are, and all your friends and your lovers and all of those have that capability of being in that reality as well, because we're all source energy, God, going on a journey, and that is our natural state, is to be in the love frequency. So although they could be residing in that frequency too, see, this is where the mind is hard to figure this out, because many possibilities are residing all at the same time. But it's your main focus of where you're going, is your responsibility in what path you want to carve. And that path is the most important thing out of everything, because that path is where you align yourself with the higher path, or the higher frequencies of those that you love anyway. It's so, well, spinny. Yeah, it's just spinny. Hi, Joe. Hey, Maggie. Hey, I'm inspired. Sandy, Malcolm, Lady. Maggie, we are in the process of taking another as yourself. First, we have to take ourselves in love. Yeah, well, everyone else that's outside of you is is a reflection of you. So when you come from love, it's only love that's going to be reflected back. But our game that we were playing and just letting go and letting go and letting go of all those stories that make us feel small, is, there's still little niggles of that. So with the little niggles of that comes along the same person that you live with or whatever will turn around and show you. They're literally showing you, no, you're going the wrong way. No, you're going the wrong way. Because they are reflecting back the lower vibration of where you're going as well. So they keep bringing it back to there is only one, and it's you in your existence creating this. It's a mind spinner. Yeah, that's cool, Maggie. If you feel like you're syncing up with me, that's really cool, because that means you're feeling into me as well. And obviously you're an empath to be able to do that, which gives you an advantage. Just like the video that I just did for the missions and the empaths, feeling into the love of self is so important. And excuse that noise if you can hear it. It's my cat, Alice. No. Sorry, she's clawing at the carpet. Really don't want her to do that. Okay, let's get back into the CYANIANS coming through and gifting us where we're going next. Okay, so what can help us with all of this transition? Don't get down on yourself if you lose yourself. Absolutely do not get down on yourself. It's just as soon as you catch yourself, go, oh, laugh at it. Oh, silly me. I lost myself again. And then move forward. It's easier to move forward when you laugh at it. Use laughing or just seeing it as a silly thing, not giving it too much validation. Because you're not doing it as much as what you were like 10 years ago anyway. So be grateful for that, to move forward and keep moving forward into the moment and bringing your mind back to, I don't want to think about that. Now, obviously, if you are hiding something from yourself, there's a difference there. If you are like locked up this neuron path in the back of the recesses of your mind that is connected to your life, and it says that whenever someone says, I don't know, if someone mentions the word God, for instance, all of a sudden that word spins you into because when you were a little kid, something happened to you around that word, whatever word it is. It's funny that they chose the word God. But in any case, so there is that we hide. If we are hiding something from ourselves, and what will happen then is that it will keep on coming back at you. It'll keep on showing up and coming back at you. And even if you say to yourself, I'm not going to give it any attention. Why am I getting so upset? Ask yourself why you're getting so upset, because you probably haven't even got to the key reason why that all happened. So that's a clearing. That's shadow work. That's when we have to really go deep into our emotions and go, well, why am I feeling this emotion now? Why am I overreacting? What is this bringing up for me to look at? Where did that even come from? If you ask those questions to yourself, then you start to go back to where it came from. And if you can find the key point of where it even started, then it's like it pops all the other points that it came up into your life. So you are literally breaking the neuron path by seeing it for what its true value was in the time, and how you overused it to overprotect yourself in a world of fear, games. So there is that still that obviously can happen. But we're talking about, say, for instance, somebody cut you off in traffic and you're like, oh, why did they do that? And then that night you're like, why did they do that? Why did they do that? And you keep on revisiting the problem. That's when you go, no, I don't want to bring that back into myself again, because the next day you will align yourself with another person who will cut you off in traffic again. You'll align yourself with another ticket. You'll align yourself with another, whatever it is. And it will keep on happening because your focus is either in on that problem and it keeps spinning up in your mind, or it's you go, I'm just going to, yeah, so that will end. Sorry, I'm distracted because my cat just came up next to me again and I'm worried with her in the carpet. But anyway, she'll be right. Let's get back into this. So they were talking about, yes, so you could end up being caught in that loop. That's just like a new neuron path forming. But if you had an old neuron path that is from when you were a child or even past lives, that you literally can be born with these issues within you because your soul has not come to allowing it to let go enough. It's carried through the energy of guilt, fear, victimization, anger. And so you can be born with some of that around you, the energy of that around you, which will actually align you with parents that are angry, putting you in victimization and all of that sort of stuff. So that is when I'm talking about going back and doing the shadow work. But when we are stepping into more living in the moment and we've done a lot of shadow work and we have something that happens to us that I don't really want that to happen to us again. You don't want to be focusing in on it. So this is all a game of learning how to control thy mind to step into creating something new. And using your those neuron paths, using everything to create something new. What else have we got here now? It's interesting that Alice came then too, because cats know who they are. She doesn't have an overlord cat that tells her that she has to act a specific way. A cat knows who they are. They just are the cat, right? And this is where humanity needs to relearn who we truly are and bring us back into alignment of knowing who we are, our authentic self, and taking the reins of that again. Just like a cat has the reins of their own life. It's interesting because they're bringing up a topic that happened when she was a kitten. As humans do, we want to control everything. And so I put a massive bell on her, and I mean a big bell. It was like that big. Every time she went outside so that it would ding, 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 and she couldn't catch the birds because her mum was an amazing hunter. Her mum caught possums. Like, her mum was an incredible hunter, and I knew she had it in her. And the story goes that she ended up not catching any birds because every time she went outside, even when I didn't put the collar on it, she just gave up because she knew that the birds were too fast, too far away. They could hear the bell going. So she just gave up in the end. Now, her mother, this is interesting, her mother had died. And I knew the person who owned her mother. Her mother had died, and that same week, like a few days after her death, Alice caught a bird. And I was like, whoa, how did that even happen? Like, she never has even gone for any birds or anything. And I swear her mum's soul came and taught her, what? You're not being a normal cat. This is what normal cats do. They chase things. And it's so interesting, the reflection of humanity and how we want to control everything to fit it into a specific box so it looks like we're good to the outside world. But we are mucking up everything by trying to control our outside world and not coming from the love of who we are. Where I could speak to Alice and go, please don't catch any, like if we were telepathic, and I have done that with her before, please don't catch the bird, then we are already in a higher connection with them, and they can see or sense where we're really coming from and the love of ourselves. And maybe she can go in a forest or something, I don't know, do her own thing somewhere else where I don't actually know about that reality. I don't know, but there's something there that they're trying to bring up so that we can, because this is all a huge lesson at the moment to bring humanity back into alignment of their authentic self. And we have to figure out what's our authentic self when we lost it. We lost our authentic self for so long. It's crazy how much we lost it. Just reading some of their stuff. Female cats are amazing hunters. They are obligated. Yeah, they are. They're supposed to catch. I mean, that's what they're all about. But the crazy thing is, humanity is, and all its beautiful blessings of trying to control its outside world, needs to let go of some of that, because there's this natural give and take with nature. Nature knows how to live cohesively together, and death is part of nature. It always has been, it always will be, because if we never had death, we might as well be robots. We might as well be like, we would never evolve. We'd never have the chance for our soul to explore something new, or anything. And everything has that chance. Back in 2012, on the 21st, I remember it was the 21st of December 2012, they were going on about the whole Mayan calendar thing. And I got this powerful message. So I was a pescatarian for 5 years because I needed omega-3, they said. So I went into the fish thing. And through that 5 years, it was all good. But then on this date, in December 2012, I got this profound message of how nature works. And they said, a sheep, a lamb exists because there's a love between a lion and a lamb, a collective understanding that if a lion ate a lamb, it could become, the lamb has the chance for its soul, more chance for its soul to become a lion in its next life, because the energy consumed it. And so if it's done through love of self, which most animals do things through love of self, the soul has the chance to be released and then move into learning how to be a lion. So same goes for humanity. There's this natural give and take that happens through life and death and the soul's evolution. And it's always a choice, but most times the animal that's leaving is an animal that actually wants to leave. They're bringing me to a murder of crows, and they call it a murder of crows because I've actually seen this happen where a crow was sick and all these crows came in and started to peck it to death. And I was thinking, oh my God, this looks terrible, from our logical mind and how we've been taught that about nature and all of that, and that death's terrible. The first thought I thought was, oh my God. But then they gave me this message. No, those crows are actually helping that crow through the love of themselves, helping it pass quicker. They didn't want it to drag on. So they come and attack it, or it's natural for them to do that. And it's out of love. Animals move through life through love. And we have to learn to do that again, because we've been moving our life through fear, not through love. And it's caught us in this crazy dynamic that's stopped the evolution of humanity's soul to progress. So when we get back into the evolution of life and recognizing that all is for the benefit, when we're coming from love of self, that happens to us. There's no good, bad, indifferent. Things aren't wrong. It just is. It is just in alignment with who we are and how we're feeling about ourselves. So many humans at the moment might actually have given up because they're still caught in that fear-based scenario, and they're so focused in on it that they're actually creating the reality where they end up being in a really awkward position, but their soul's like, I just want out, and so they put themselves in a place where they're aligned with an accident, they're aligned with some disease or something going wrong with them. Yeah, so it is pretty deep, isn't it? Lots of deep stuff at the moment, but they want to bring all this stuff up for you guys so that you can become more authentically human and in the natural game of life and acceptance of everything, but also deciding and choosing the path that you want to create. So sometimes we have to literally break everything down within us, and literally the bigger picture it's happening as well, so that we can go, okay, what really does make us feel good while we're living in this beautiful body? If we can come to terms with ourselves and passing on, then we are actually going to live a more joyful life, because then we're not living in fear of passing on. We're living in love of life, and it's different. And so you start creating a much better scenario or life for yourself when you've come to terms with that. Wow. So yes, but I love this energy too, even though it's pretty deep. Thanks, Jules. Yeah, if anyone hasn't seen my video, that's a really profound video. I'm actually going to advertise that one. So I want to get it out to many, many people. And I'm following the advice of my guides, and I'm going to advertise it. So I'm setting that all up at the moment. And I'm probably going to bring in, well, they're actually saying you'll be bringing in more videos to do with what can we step into? What's the possibilities? Where do we really want to go from here? What do we want to create? It's not that anything is bad or good. It's just that when we've come from victimization within ourselves, we're allowing somebody else to control us, and that's controlling us will literally fall away when we're taking our power back, and then we can utilize all those things that we've created. Physically, for the benefit of ourselves, instead of and being in fear of how it's going to be used against us. But we're in fear of how it's going to be used against us because we don't feel empowered, and so we haven't actually found source energy within us. We haven't found the God within us. We haven't found the creator within us to say, no, that's not how the story is going to go. And so there's multitude of things out there that have been created that we can actually use to benefit us and the environment of our reality, to work together again with Gaia, with Earth as well. She creates her own electricity as well, and she harnesses it in crystals. So there's also, there's all sorts of things that we can utilize to benefit ourselves, but use it for an advantage. But also they're saying that just because we can bring in all of those gadgets and stuff to use for us, we also have the capability within our own minds to be telepathic. So we don't need a gadget outside of ourselves that can be controlled by somebody else. We have that capability within us. but that has to come from a balanced mind, living presently in the moment, and then moving through life through love, because telepathy is always created through love. Even when the Cherokee elder held my hand, it was an immense love that happened between us before there was a connection. So she started breathing really deeply, probably to let go of all of her mind thoughts about me and connect to me through love. And then we ended up having this connection of telepathic connection. And when a soul knows another soul and was telepathic in another world, it's a natural given thing that that's going to be an underlining thing that happens. I've noticed that with me and my partner, that actually happens between us. When I'm having a bad day, he's having a bad day. When I'm having a good day, all of a sudden he switches up. We really are dynamically unified in an energetic way. And you know, whether we can say that that's coming from my own self, creating my own path, or this telepathic link, which I do believe is between us, is interesting. See, both reside in the same place because both are unified through love. So much going on here. Okay. There was a flash of another picture in the live feed. Did anyone see that? Too fast to identify. Probably won't show on Bobbie's side. Oh, well, I'll have a look and see if there was something. Sometimes that happens when I pull this energy in. I've literally got movies of wisps coming out my hands sometimes and little light balls. And I've literally got a movie of that. And it was so interesting. This wisp, because I was watching a lot of Star Trek, turned into the Star Trek, one of the ships. That's funny. Anyway, where else have we got? What else have we got that's coming through? Yeah, it's not going to be boring. It's really interesting because some people think that they need that polarity, massive polarity for excitement. It's not going to be boring. It's enlightening and it feels good, and adventures can happen, and lots more laughter and fun, and funny things will happen, and instead of taking them seriously, you take them lightheartedly, which makes for another, fun adventure or something. When you look back and you'll start laughing at things that have happened, instead of feeling into the fear of, oh my God, is it going to happen again? Totally different. So all of this is going to change up for us as well. Yeah. It's a lot juicier. There's this absolute trust and faith in ourselves. There's faith in ourselves that's going to change the world and the world that we live in. And then grounding that. I'm just seeing what else comes, if there's anything else. My head is starting to spin again. My head spins when I do this work. Yeah. Any case, look on my channel because I'm going to do some more beautiful videos. I feel in alignment with that. And I want to bring in more videos of what Pleiades looks like. And so that we can ground and choose what we want to ground on this planet, the different dynamics and how they live and stuff like that, as well as the future Earths and what we can actually progress to, which is bringing back Atlantis, Lemuria, Mu, all of that sort of stuff and how they lived. I want to start to feed in through that. So I can do videos about that sort of thing as well. And also a waking up mission, more missions. So the last video I did was like a snippet for each one. Maybe I'll do like a big one just for the Earth Keepers, Wizards and Warlocks and stuff. Maybe I'll do a big, just one specific one for, you know, those that are coming from off-world planets and that sort of thing. But yeah, I want to do more enlightening videos. Instead of before, the game was all to do with healing thyself, healing thy mind, moving through the shadow work. Now I'm shifting it up. So stepping into more of my power, because I'm a soul that's come straight from Pleiades. This is what I'm here for. I'm here to awaken and help align you with something new, something different, bringing you into the love of where this can all go, expanding our imagination and grounding it through these videos. So yeah, things are going to change up a little bit. Yeah. Any case, love you guys heaps. Until next time. And because it's changing, I'm not saying what's happening next week because it's all in flux, but I am definitely bringing in some more videos. I'm still going to do these lives. I'm still going to channel through live. That is an absolute, because I'm moving more into the channeling. So yeah, don't fear. There's still going to be some really cool videos coming up. Love you guys heaps. Until next time. Bye.